Hello and welcome to WhatKeepsYouAwake.tv. It's time again to dive into the hustles, the hurdles, and the highs that keep small business leaders up at night. I'm your host, David Hooser, and I'm incredibly fortunate to welcome today's guest, Mary Hagen. Mary is an entrepreneur turned philanthropist who now leads an innovative company that specializes in doing well while doing good. It's a great tag. Mary, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Let's get started with our foundational questions.
Let's do it.
So tell me, as a CEO of an innovative, first of its kind and rapidly growing business, what keeps you awake at night?
Well, as the leader of a rapidly growing business, plenty.
No stress.
Yeah, plenty keeps me up at night. But if I had to choose one specific topic that's sort of frequently top of mind for me, I would say that it is the people. It's the people that we support through what we do. The company has grown to almost 100 employees.
Oh, wow.
From the employees and their families that rely on this business to continue growing and thriving, to the charities that we support, to the champions that we support, to the people that the charities that we benefit support, right?
Absolutely.
We're touching so many people now, and I feel a great responsibility to keep that going. And I just don't want to let anybody down.
No stress, no nothing much on your shoulders right
Just
now.
a few million people every day counting on us to come through.
So let's talk about it a little bit. So let's talk about what the organization is, what you do. You help organizations fundraise.
We do. So Colossal is a nationally registered professional fundraiser. And in English, that just means that we are able to legally raise money in all 50 states on behalf of a charity. We are not a charity. We're a for-profit company. And what we do is raise money for charities. We do this in a very specific way. So we don't run raffles and galas and auctions and those kinds of traditional fundraisers.
No 50-50.
Yeah, we don't do that. We run viral online competitions that raise money for charity. And our competitions are a public voting model. We're the only business in the world doing what we do today. So this is a completely ground up, grassroots kind of an operation. It's been really fun. But our champions are chosen through public voting. The person with the most votes at the end of the competition wins. And where the fundraising comes into play is you can vote for your favorite participant for free, or you can make a donation to the charity that we're raising money for, and every dollar donated is an additional vote cast.
So I can vote for free X number of times or X amount per time frame.
Yes.
But then I could say I want to add more votes.
Yeah, if you want to make a little bit bigger impact and you want to have, I call it a double good. You can support your friend or your family member while also benefiting charity. And if you want to make that double impact, you can donate.
Okay. And I have to ask, how much of what I would donate goes to the organization that I'm donating to?
We guarantee a minimum of 50% going to the designated beneficiary in legal mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, sure.
But the charity gets a minimum of 50%. When we can give more, we do.
Okay. Well, I can tell you, as someone, I have a nonprofit organization. So just to go briefly to an aside on my story, we were a for-profit school. So middle school, secondary ed, middle and high school online. And we started with our high school. The fifth caller of every day, every call. So 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth call. The first 4 were moms looking for alternative schools for their kids. The fifth was mom looking for an alternative school for herself or dad.
Wow.
They dropped out of school.
Yeah.
We were high school. So we would, gladly sign them up to a program we have for adult, specifically targeting a credential, but a lot of them couldn't afford, couldn't do it at home, didn't have access. So we started a nonprofit.
Very cool.
And I could easily give them access to school. I own the school, so it's no problem. Yeah. You're in. I'd make them do a couple little things, but then I'd find out they had to do this work at home. They didn't have internet at home. They didn't have a computer at home. They may need to do some tutoring or testing off-site onto a GED testing center site or something. And so they couldn't do that. So their obstacle wasn't education. It was all of those things that surrounded education access.
Yeah,
And,
sure.
and so I can tell you, we fundraised all the time for EARN. It is my nonprofit's.
Cool.
So I would love to talk to you about doing something for EARN.
And we should.
Because, as a small business owner, of course, I had to focus like you do on your 100 employees and making sure, that they have what they need to thrive as individuals, families, etc. But nothing was more rewarding than when one of my recipients of a scholarship graduated, got to the next level. We worked with community colleges.
Yeah.
And so a lot of our students would path into a community college program. And when they graduated, they always sent us their pictures because they couldn't get in or get government funding without it.
Yeah.
And so it was the most meaningful thing. So I can tell you right now, and we, as hard as it was, we fundraised with passion because we knew what would result. So I can tell you right now, nothing's more important than what you're doing for these organizations.
Thank you. And we do really feel that. And I say, I bleed colossal blue. I live, eat, and breathe this company and the impact that we're making. I should. But I think there's no one at my company that doesn't feel that way. We all bleed colossal blue and we're all really in it for the mission. I try very deeply to bring that impact back home as much as possible. Okay. So the charities that we're supporting are all over the country and the people that they're benefiting are all over the country. And so as often as possible, we make sure that every employee at Colossal gets an opportunity to have a tangible impact. So volunteering opportunities, meeting the organizations that we're supporting. They of course are so grateful to us and they will send us videos from recipients and people that have benefited. And there's really nothing like it. When you really feel like the work that you're doing is making a real difference and really helping people, there's nothing like it. Well, I mean, I'll never go back.
Fundraising is difficult.
Very.
Especially since COVID.
And this is one of the reasons we got into this is that in the very beginning, we had a business model that worked. We ran competitions already. It wasn't always a fundraiser. Right. And it just dawned on us, this is a really powerful marketing machine. Let's use it to do some good in the world. And now, I mean, we've raised almost $200 million for charities in the last 3 years. And so it really is powerful. And there's a lot of energy behind that.
So let's talk about what it is, because I'm curious. So I'm a nonprofit. Walk me through. I'm a potential client.
You're a potential client. You're somebody we maybe want to raise money for and support your organization. You go through a vetting process. Okay. It's very important to us that people feel good about where their dollars are going.
How deep a process? I'm a little nervous about that now. No, I'm just kidding.
You're probably okay as long as you're in good standing with the IRS.
I'm in good to my knowledge, they haven't found me yet.
So we go through a little vetting process, and as a charity, we would look at your cause and try to design a campaign that makes sense for you. So you're in education, and so a campaign that we already run that might make a lot of sense for you is called America's Favorite Teacher. And every year we award a teacher. Bill Nye is the celebrity host. He's actually this year, he is doing an in-person event at the winning teacher's school. So it's a really cool opportunity.
So you vote for your favorite teacher.
You vote for your favorite teacher, and proceeds go to benefit this year Planetary Society. And the year previously it was an American Teachers Foundation. And then every year we can stay with the same charity or they can rotate. And the idea is to spread the wealth.
Sure. Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So you vet me out. I sign up, and how do I promote it? How do we get the word out that this is a thing?
This is the beauty of Colossal. We really rely on our community to spread the word about the campaign and to make the impact that we're making. And so imagine this. Tens of thousands of teachers from all across the country will sign up to be part of this opportunity to win. And those tens of thousands of teachers are going to promote themselves and the cause with that in order to gain votes and win the competition.
Through social media.
Through email,
So they
through
get
announcements at their school.
They post their link. That comes back to your platform that you host on the campaigns.
That's exactly right. Okay. And the virality of that in the education space in that particular case, but we're also, we run America's Favorite Pet, and all the pet parents of the world get involved. As you can imagine, it's a very passionate competition.
Creative photos in that one.
Yes.
I'm sure.
But that's the idea, is to get a community of people that are like-minded and maybe have similar interests and want to support a similar cause together to make this impact.
So you got started, I think you and I spoke, it was through a local organization, a local company that you were associated with.
Yes. We ran the very original concept was with a local publisher, and we ran a modeling competition for someone to be on the cover of this magazine. It was very glamorous, very Miss America-esque.
Okay.
It was a virtual online pageant where the winner was chosen through public voting. It was just sort of, we kind of just threw it at the wall to see what stuck, right? We're entrepreneurs, so we're as crazy as anybody. Let's see if someone will do this. Yeah. It was reasonably successful. A few thousand people participated, and we raised maybe somewhere around a couple $100,000, and we thought, wow, this really works. But at that time, I don't think we imagined that we would fast forward to 100 employees and raising hundreds of millions for charities. But it's pretty special to be here.
Okay. And then how did you pivot into that? Did you do it on your own? Did you?
So going back to where we were earlier with that, it's hard to raise money. Fundraising is hard. We recognized while we were building this business model, we tried to incorporate philanthropy. We wanted to give a portion of the proceeds. And at the time, that's just all we knew to be available. And we learned through this process that there is a lot of red tape. It's hard to give money away. And so in learning all of that, we discovered this model of professional fundraiser. And there's not many of us in the world today, but professional fundraising was this light bulb for us. We said, that's what we need to do. We need to be a professional fundraiser so that this can be more about the charity, right? And the model we were running previously, the charity was part of it, but we weren't able to really drive home that charitable message because of red tape.
Sure.
If you're not a fundraiser, you can't say you're raising money. You can say that you're making money and giving some of it away, but it's very complicated messaging.
Right.
And so we wanted to solve that barrier. We wanted people to feel good about being a part of this campaign and really making a difference. So we became a professional fundraiser. Okay. But the fun backstory to that is that what actually spawned the idea that we should pivot the whole campaign public voting dollar per vote model to a fundraiser was a customer support ticket. After our very first, yes. And as an entrepreneur, I'm a big fan of the idea that the market will tell you what they want from you. And if you deliver, you will be successful. And so here we are. Right. But someone wrote in and said, hey, this is really cool. I had a good time with the campaign. It would be even cooler if you did it to raise money for charity. We said, heck yeah, it would be. So then we embarked on the path to raise money for charities.
All right. So that's made it simple. I mean, just listen to your customers.
Listen to the customer.
Yeah, it makes sense. And that's a lesson to learn, because entrepreneurs are very proud. We create something that we think is the best, and sometimes we hold on to that too long. We don't listen. We don't look for ways to change or redirect or, as we just said, pivot. Yeah. And if you do, oftentimes that's the winning outcome.
So. Oh, absolutely. Everyone in our company knows I am a huge fan of my own ideas, but I'm willing to be proven wrong and excited to be sometimes. And this was a really cool case of listening to the customer and seeing tremendous success from that.
Okay, so now you're at 100 employees. You have tons of things to think about that keep you up at night. So why start it? What was your genesis? What was the one driver that got you into this?
I would say truthfully that what keeps me up at night is the people, and the same answer is true for what motivates me to keep doing it. Okay. We are making a real tangible impact in the world. And at this point, I'm not going to let go of that and take my foot off the gas. We can make real change and inspire real change in a positive way. So why not keep doing that?
It certainly makes you feel good.
It feels really good.
True. Another continuation of my story, just not that I, want to take much time, but I ended up in Vietnam during COVID and was stuck there. And I was supposed to have one of my teams coming in. I got there in February, was leaving in March, but by this time, COVID's hitting everywhere in 20, and I ended up there for 6 months.
Wow.
And I worked with a gentleman who is Vietnamese representative of Goldman Sachs, and another lady who was a vice president of a Vietnamese bank. And then I owned the education program that we ran there and was nationally known. And we were talking, and we had a friend who had a restaurant who was closed because no one could go to restaurants to eat. So we started producing about 1,000 meals a day to give out to low-income, individuals, families, and communities in Saigon.
Yeah.
And again, it's not something I ever saw coming. It wasn't, but it was every day we get up. It was every day is summer in Saigon, and the restaurant had no air conditioning, and we got in there. It was about 15 or 16 of us at first. Before you knew it, we had a whole catering center going. But
amazing.
But it's just the feeling of what you just did for those people.
Yeah.
We would have people lining up to come, or we'd have people coming on motorbikes to get bags and take them to their neighborhoods. And,
amazing.
Yeah. So those little things and just fundraising like this, voting for one of the candidates, knowing that what I'm putting into this campaign is going to help kids or families or whatever it is around the country or around the world in some cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I like to think that everybody who participates in a Colossal campaign in any way, whether you're a participant or a voter or an employee or the charity beneficiary, I like to think that everyone is benefiting from doing good, and from doing something that's bigger than yourself.
Okay. Well, I mean, we could keep talking all day, but what I like to do now that we've had our foundational questions answered from you, thank you, is give you that one last, I say shameless plug of how would someone in our audience, you have entrepreneurs, both aspiring and new and accomplished, and some of the guests I have actually tomorrow are either telling me they should retire or are retiring because their journey is complete. So for that audience, ranging from wannabe to fully accomplished entrepreneurs, what kind of how do they get a hold of you if they want to get involved, or how would they, what would they do to connect with you?
Well, if you're interested in learning more about Colossal, you can visit us at colossal.org. We're also on all social platforms. If you're interested in learning more about myself, my career, my journey, or getting in touch with me, you can visit maryhagen.com. And you can also find me on all social platforms.
And I did my research on you. It's a very good site, so nicely done. I tried because, that IRS thing, I try not to put too much promotion on me online. But so that does it for this episode. And again, thank you, Mary, for joining. Thank you, everyone in the audience, for being here today. And remember to like or follow whatkeepsyouawake.tv wherever you get your podcasts. And remember to tell your friends, family, fellow entrepreneurs to catch one of our upcoming episodes. Thank you again.
Thanks for having me.